Things are changing. Times are changing. You are changing. What I want to do today is I really want to get to the essence of life and all of your experiences, because it's easy to get so distracted by what's going on, what appears to be around us, what's going on in the world, whether it be violence, politics, the economy, even in your close relationships, your family, your friends, your personal, intimate relationship with your partner, spouse, lover, even going out further into interactions with people, our concerns and how to engage with people that we don't know and how to interact, socialize, how we feel a sense of not being in control, a sense of helplessness, a sense of discouragement, a sense of even fear, and how the world can tend to project, can tend to lay all of that on top of you. And it feels like it's all on your shoulders, but in a way that's a burden. And what I want you to understand is that though it is all up to you, when you realize that in a spiritual way, it is no longer a burden. It is a gift. It is a blessing. Because all these things are essentially reflections of what's going on within you. They are not something that is out of your control. And even the things that are or may be out of your control, your response to it is in your control. Your response to it is all that matters. Your response to it is a demonstration of your control, your ability to maneuver, manipulate, change, alter the experience, the reality that you're having. So when you, who is probably somebody who is thinking or concerned about what's going on in your personal life, what's going on maybe in your home, in your relationship, with money, finances, business, career, job, wondering how you can make a change and do things differently or have a whole different experience, you may feel a sense of not having any sense of hope or any sense of, a glimpse or a clue of something giving, right? Something allowing you to be the version of you that you desire to be. And though I talk about this all the time, and I've written a book on it, The Future Self Frequency, it is something that is part of the journey that we all experience. We all have moments. I have moments where what's happening in the world is bothersome. I have moments where situations, exchanges in my relationships, whether it be family, whether it be with my children, whether it be with my partner, that alters or shifts my energy in a way that I really don't want to experience. Well, the good thing is, because you've been practicing the ability of self-awareness and mindfulness, which I hope you have as somebody who is spiritual and conscious, right? Is that when you recognize how you feel, that means that you also have the ability to shift how you feel. So when you're feeling irritated, annoyed, frustrated, when you're feeling angry, sad, depressed, just simply not in alignment with the harmony that you know you should be experiencing, that is your moment to take ownership of that harmony that you should be experiencing. But we're so busy living from the outside in that we forget that truth, that the universe actually responds from us, meaning life happens from the inside out. That means you are the leader, you are the nucleus, you are the center, you are the essence of how life starts and where it goes. Now, I know, because every time I say this, I can hear and feel, and I've been told this many times as well, that people take that, they hear it, and then they blame themselves, or they think that I'm blaming them for things that's happened in their lives, and that's not what I'm doing. Taking ownership of your life and your reality, taking ownership of all the things that's happened in your life, it isn't about blame, it isn't about fault, it isn't about shame. It's really about power. It's really about recognizing that you are the creator of your reality. And when you take ownership of this and know this, you create the reality that you absolutely desire by understanding the importance of alignment, understanding the importance of aligning your thoughts, your emotions, and most certainly your actions with the outcome, the reality, the life that you want. Instead of allowing things that are happening in this collective world, allowing it to alter you and pull you away from this divine power that's within you, that is you, and failing to recognize that though those things exist, right? War, violence, poverty, those things do exist. They don't have to exist in a space where you feel like you have no control or you have no say over how you experience it, how you experience life. You have to understand that as an individual, you get to determine what your experience is. You get to determine how these things affect you. Yeah, they can be some deep stuff. It can be sad. It can be disheartening. It can be a little bit scary. But when you have those feelings stems from the ego side of you, right? That's the side of you that really functions in a place of protection. And that side of you is not the totality or is not the true core essence of you. So on this spiritual journey, you learn not to identify with that aspect of you, and you learn to recognize those triggers. But it's important to also understand that you are pure consciousness, which is the expression, individualized expression of what I call grand consciousness, the universe, God. And so, as you can see around me, cars is going by, police cars, sirens. I'm in the middle of traffic. There's a lot of things happening right now. But I'm able to recognize my purpose, my intention, my consciousness, and still be able to channel, right, particular truths and wisdom through me to you, regardless of all that's happening. And that's essentially what you should be doing for yourself. You should be recognizing that though these things are happening, your job, your responsibility here on this planet and this realm is to contribute and uplift, to add a higher vibration or frequency to this collective. So that way, there's less of the negativity, less of the violence, less of the hate, less of the poverty. The only way you can do that is by taking ownership of yourself and your life, by aligning yourself with your passions, the lifestyle you wish to live, the relationships you desire to have, the amount of money you desire to have. All those things must be established for yourself in order for you to then create a radiance, to create a pulse that emanates from you out into the collective. You have to take ownership of yourself and your life. Because as long as you're focused, as you can see, I'm paying attention to everything that's happening around me, but I'm focused on the mission. I'm focused on the goal. I'm focused on sharing with you right now. And this is how you have to approach all those situations that don't serve you. You acknowledge them, you recognize them to a minimal degree, by which you can acknowledge and not be naive, not be, aloof and just like not grounded in this physical world. But you recognize that though you are in the physical world, there are rules, right? Just like as I'm driving, there are rules to keep myself safe, keep other people safe, right? There are rules to being a part of this collective universe. And as long as you are focused in on your job, it doesn't matter what the rules are. You can abide by the rules and still be highly successful and in alignment with your desires. Sometimes we get so caught up in the inability to break through, recognize our own self-limiting beliefs. We're not willing to do the work, or we're just scared to do the work, that we blame all of these rules and what's happening around us. We say, oh, it's this person's fault, right? For making a wrong turn. We say is this person's fault, or it's traffic's fault for making me upset or annoyed or frustrated. That's life. That's what it is. So, and it's always been that way since you've known it, right? Traffic has always been traffic since you've known traffic. Life has been life since you've known life. Relationships have been relationships as you've known relationships. So your job is to not change life outside of you, right? You can't manipulate or change other people. You can't manipulate or change the rules of the universe. You can only change yourself. You can only think about and rearrange how you perceive, how you respond, how you engage, how you interact with the rules or with this arena, right? This coliseum. People talk about life as like a battle. Well, if you see life like that, then be a gladiator. Some people say life is a gift, is a beautiful thing, is love. If you see it that way, then be love. So sometimes for me, I can jump and fluctuate from one thing to another. When I'm going for my workouts and I'm running and I'm in competition with myself, I feel like it's more of a gladiator sport. But I am also in a space of gratitude for life in that moment. So you have to understand that there's no getting around the complexities. There's no getting around the complications. There's no getting around the rules, except for when you change how you see the rules, when you change how you deal with the complexities, how you simplify the complexities, how you take and embrace those complexities or those complications. And then they're no longer complicated. It's like things are not hard if you make them easy. The mechanics, the process can be exactly the same. The intensity, the amount of focus that you put in it can be exactly the same. But it being hard versus it being easy is just simply a decision. And that's what I want you to understand. And sometimes that decision takes time. It does. And that can feel annoying, frustrating. I get it. But do not stop. Do not give up. Because then what is the alternative? The alternative then is to be miserable, is to be sad, is to not live a life fulfilled, full of joy and success. You see? So get into the mindset of success being your only option. Because in truth, it really is. You don't want to choose the option of ultimate failure in and of life. Right? So please take ownership of this beautiful opportunity we have called life. Don't take yourself too seriously, even when things are serious. Learn to laugh in and at the darkness. When you sense there's negativity, when you sense yourself feeling fear, recognize that is just simply the other side of the coin, and therefore, courage, positivity, light is right there. All you got to do is flip the coin, meaning all you have to do is just change your perspective. I hope that helps you today. Thanks for your support. Thanks for everybody who purchased the Future Self Frequency and the journal. I notice most people have been buying the bundle where they come together. Love it. Love it. I really appreciate it. I love the support. Please, if you haven't bought it yet, go now. FutureSelfFrequency.com. I thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments you'd like to share about this video, or you have any questions about anything in general as it pertains to your spiritual advancement, as it pertains to you aligning with the future version of you that has it all, let me know and I'll make a video on it. All right. Thanks for supporting me today. I did something a little different. It was interesting because usually I get in my zone. Usually I have on my shades But today I wanted to do something different and challenge myself and just see if I can actually channel this wisdom while I'm driving. Because a lot of times me driving gives me the ideas. And then once I get into my space where I usually make my videos is when I can get still, quiet, and actually channel. But, we never want to get too stuck in a particular rut. You always want to push yourself, challenge yourself, and just play, really, right? Because we're not taking ourselves too serious. Play in the game of life. Be consistent in generating love and positivity, grace, and amazement in everything you do and experience. Thanks again. Peace and abundance always.